30 cars will take the green flag here this afternoon. We set the field, locked in the top 20 in qualifying. Took 6 via provisional, 3 provisionals from the CRA series, 6 from the Midwest Tour, and then we rounded it off with 4 drivers out of that last chance race. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at that starting lineup. We'll start back at the tail end of the field. Starting 30th here this afternoon, Brett Robinson out of New Albany, Indiana. He will start tail end Charlie here this afternoon. Alec Carl starting 29th. Andrew Morrissey will start in the 28th position, just in front of him. The winner of that last chance race, 27th place starter Donnie Wilson out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Of course, Donnie picking up the win at the Fairgrounds Speedway last weekend. James Swan will start 26th.
Brandon Hermiller will roll off in the 25th position, driving the H&S Dye Engineering Ford from nearby Walker, Michigan. Starting in 24th, Jason Weinkoff, 23rd, Rick Turner, 22nd, Cardell Potter, and 21st, Allie Kern.
Nick Galano will go 20th here this afternoon. Brandon Oakley will start 19th. Of course, these cars all locked in via time trials earlier this afternoon. Jonathan Island will start 18th, with Cody Coughlin starting 17th, and Brandon Watson starting 16th. He is out of Stayner, Ontario, in the Sheer Metal Products Chevy.
Casey Johnson will roll off from the 15th position. Scott Hance, multiple-time winner here at Toledo Speedway, 14th. Chris Weinkoff will roll off 13th. And Steve Wallace, who's been quick all weekend long here, will roll off from the 12th position.
Anderson Bowen will start 11th here this afternoon, with Paul Schaefer Jr. out of Portage, Indiana, starting outside row 5. Eddie Hoffman Jr., a multiple-time winner here at the Toledo Speedway, will start 9th. And as we said, our fast qualifier, Chad Finley, rolled an 8 on the invert, so he will start outside row number 4. Brian Campbell starting 7th here. Of course, Brian picking up that win back in 2009 in the Glass City 200. He knows the way to victory lane. Nate Haslai starting 6th, and Derek Griffin starting 5th.
Starting in 4th position, Ross Kenseth. 3rd, Ty Majeski. Rolling off from the front row position, Danny Rivers. And rolling on the pole, Travis Braden, the 2013 CRA Super Series champion from a year ago.
Defending champion Travis Braden up on the front row, picked up 4 wins here in the ARCA CRA Super Series last season. So looking at the lead, at least a shot at taking the lead here as we kick off the regular season for the ARCA CRA Super Series. Nice way to open that title defense anyhow. Of course, Travis, a full-time student down at the West Virginia University, in addition to climbing behind the steering wheel of that beautiful number 01 West Virginia University Chevrolet, the Mountaineers. See how he does here. Just 29 guys he's got to beat to put it in victory lane. Should be an easy task here this afternoon, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, there are a lot of very stellar cars in this field here. I mean, sure, we don't have the 4 of the top 5 to finish here a year ago, but there's a lot more. There's a lot of young guys that want to make a name for themselves here. A lot of veterans here wanting to end up in victory lane, like Steve Wallace. And so it's going to be interesting to see who ends up at lap 150 in victory lane this afternoon.
Joe Wells bringing the pace car down onto the infield short track here. Travis Braden, Donnie Rivers now leading the field down the back straightaway, 2 by 2, 15 rows deep. Now picking up the pace through turns 3 and 4. They will be looking at Brian Duncan's green flag, which is in the air, and we are underway in the 7-up 150. Travis Braden jumping out to the lead down in turn 1.
Braden's able to get away in turn 2. Now the battle's for second. Ty Majeski side by side with Rivers. Rivers able to hold him off, but now here comes Majeski on the bottom in turn 3.
Donnie Rivers drifting up into that 3rd lane through turns 3 and 4. That's going to allow Derek Griffin in the 25 car to look down to the inside. Here comes Ross Kenseth as well, as Donnie Rivers now starting to drop back through, almost out of the top 5.
Kenseth on the bottom, Rivers on the outside. Kenseth clears him. Now here comes Brian Campbell looking to the inside. Now here comes the 8 of Eddie Hoffman looking to the inside in turn 1. Turner pulls back even in turn 3.
Next time around for leader Travis Braden, we will complete 20 laps of the 7-up 150. Of course, 150 green flag laps. Caution flag laps will not count here this afternoon. Braden continuing to stretch out that advantage over Ty Majeski in that 2nd spot.
And this young man really...
Trouble over in turns 3 and 4. That battle we were just talking about, Tim, has come to loggerheads. Allie Kern getting into the back of Brandon Oakley, and Oakley going around to bring out the caution flag for the first time here this afternoon.
And we just made mention of it 2 laps prior, down in turn 1. Allie Kern giving Oakley a shot on entry. and he was able to regroup and keep going. And I think she gave him a warning saying, okay, it's time for me to go. Let me go. I'm a little bit quicker than you at this stage of the race. It's early. Let me go. He didn't let her go, and she gave him a shot down there in turn 3.
Thankfully for everybody involved, no contact between any race cars or the outside wall, so it looks like Brandon Oakley will be able to rejoin the tail end of the field. And we're going to jump back here before that commercial break is over because I see the one-to-go signal from the flag stand. So rather than listen to commercials, we'll listen to some green flag racing here. Next time around, we will get the green flag with 20 laps in the books. Travis Braden still our leader with Ty Majeski alongside on the front row. Brent. I knew I was going to do it. Derek Griffin and Ross Kenseth in row number 2. Brian Campbell and Nate Haslai in row number 3. Green flag waving, and again on the break, Travis Braden jumping out into the lead. But now here comes Derek Griffin looking to the inside of Ty Majeski as we have problems on the backstretch. Steve Wallace goes sliding down into the infield as everybody stacking up on that back straightaway. And as soon as we went back green flag racing, Tim, caution flag going to come right back out.
Well, the old saying, cautions breed cautions, and 2 more late arrivals on the scene there, the 5.
Last year, I believe Allie Kern was second in the points. Is that right?
She was second, yeah, second. Won the Rookie of the Year award as well.
Currently sitting 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th right now, as I count out the positions live on the air here. So we definitely do have some big-name drivers, and of course, Steve Wallace, after that incident on the backstretch, he's tailing Charlie right now himself. So,
and he's an aggressive driver as is.
I think he's a little aggressive.
I think this is going to be fun to watch now, him come up through the field.
We'll definitely be keeping an eye on the 66 car. Brian Duncan giving the field a 1-to-go signal. They're already halfway down the back straightaway. So Travis Braden and Ty Majeski now picking up the pace through turns 3 and 4. Green flag waving from the flag stand once again, and on the break, as he has the other 2 times, Travis Braden jumping out into the lead, and again, Derek Griffin looking to the inside of Ty Majeski through turns 1 and 2.
Majeski's been very strong on the outside. He's able to clear Griffin out of turn 2, now starting to reel in the 0-1 of Travis Braden out of turn 4, half a car length back as they complete lap number 21.
And now we have a side-by-side battle between the Boyne machine cars for the 4th position. Brian Campbell looking to the inside of Ross Kenseth. Kenseth now making an abrupt left-hand turn to try to get down into that inside groove. That slams the door shut on Nate Haslai. Haslai now has his hands full with Chad Finlay down in turns 1 and 2.
Haslai on the outside, Finlay on the bottom. Haslai gets a great run off the exit of turn 2, but now here comes the 42 of Finlay back now in the middle of turn 3. They race side by side on the exit of turn 4.
No problems up at the front of the field for Travis Braden. He's got it on cruise control as we see some trouble here down going into turn number 1. You talk about somebody being aggressive. Steve Wallace just gave Brandon Oakley the boot here at the main, right at the start-finish line. Oakley locking that car down and just about found the end of the pit wall down in turn number 1. I would say he came within about 5 feet of hitting the end of that pit wall, but boy, Brandon Oakley doing a great job. It may be a long race, does not give you a lot of time to work your way through the field. So I think the aggression level for some of these drivers has been jacked through the roof, even in the early going here.
And I think it's something we're going to continue to watch, especially with the 66 of Steve Wallace, the 77 of Jonathan Island, and the 28 of Allie Kern, as we've seen those drivers be a little bit more aggressive as trying to make their way by some of the slower cars who are in front of them.
Joe Wells brings the Groganstown Chrysler Dodge pace car down onto the infield short track as Brian Duncan giving the field the 1-to-go signal once again. So Travis Braden lining up alongside Ty Majeski once again. Going to be interesting to see. So far, it's been all Travis Braden on these restarts as, again, field now starts to pick up the pace through turns 3 and 4 on the hammer on the main straightaway. Green flag in the air, and Ty Majeski kind of hanging to the outside of Travis Braden this time. But again, Braden gets on the gas out of turn number 2 and jumps out to a 2-car length lead. This time, Derek Griffin now looking to the inside of Ty Majeski through turns 3 and 4.
Griffin pushes up a little bit in turn 4, but Majeski gets the great run at the start-finish line on that outside line. They race side by side in turn 2. Been watching some of these guys at the back end of the top 10. Really, the 72 is Scott Hance, who has been pretty solid here this afternoon. Starting to work over the 7 machine, the rookie, Paulie Schaefer Jr. out of turn 2, almost to the rear end, now peeking to the inside in turn 3.
How about Donnie Wilson? Started back in 27th position. He has raced his way up to 11th right now, as we almost have some more problems over in turns 3 and 4. Looks like the 5 car, well, one of the 5 cars anyhow, just got loose directly in front of Allie Kern and about stacked 4 or 5 cars up together. Allie doing a great job making some evasive moves. She did lose a spot to Brandon Hermiller in that exchange, but boy, we were very close to caution flag number 4 here this afternoon.
And now we have a battle for the lead over in turn 3. Side by side, Brian Campbell taking the lead at the start-finish line. Past Travis Braden. Now here comes Derek Griffin. Move him into the second spot. That clears way for Ross Kenseth out of turn 2.
Kenseth looking to the outside. Looks like Travis Braden just a tick off the pace as we have another lead change. Give the top spot to Derek Griffin in that 25 car. Derek Griffin blasting to the inside of Brian Campbell down the back straightaway. Griffin now takes over the lead.
Now, in the last couple laps, the 0-1, Charlie, I think there's a problem. Back to 7.
Has to be a problem
Has
for
to be a
Travis
problem.
Braden off the pace down the back straightaway. Very tough break for both of the drivers running up front in the early going here. Now Travis Braden bringing the 0-1 car down pit road. Unfortunate set of circumstances for the early leader here in the 7-up 150. Travis Braden now on pit road.
And that's the defending CRA Super Series champion, having unfortunate luck here. He had bad luck in this race last year when the radiator expired halfway through the race last year.
Now Donnie Wilson making his way into the top 10, looking to the inside of Paul Schaefer Jr. down the main straightaway. Wilson now trying to chase down Scott Hance, and he's on a 2-race win streak. He's on a hot streak. He picked up a big win down at the Nashville Fairgrounds to make the 7-up 150 here today, and now a lack of power on that 28 car is going to send her down pit road as we have trouble over in turns 3 and 4. Rick Turner getting turned sideways, not making any contact with the outside wall, but that will bring out the caution flag for the 4th time here this afternoon.
And Rick Turner really had worked his way up through the field nicely, just outside that top 10 there. So unfortunate circumstances for the veteran of the CRA Super Series.
Very solid. Double file restart coming up as the 1-to-go signal given from the flag stand. Derek Griffin on the inside of row 1. Outside will be Brian Campbell, Nate Haslai, and Ross Kenseth in row number 2. Chad Fidley, Anderson Bowen in row 3. Donnie Wilson, Scott Hance, Paulie Schaefer, and it looks like Donnie Rivers back into the top 10 as field now picks up the pace through turns 3 and 4. Green flag waving from the flag stand, and Derek Griffin on the break, jumping out into the lead down into turn number 1.
Griffin got a great initial start, but here comes the 47, charging back now on the outside. Brian Campbell now side by side, battling for the lead, gets the nose out in front in turn 3.
Again, Brian Campbell's strategy is to be out front and lead as many laps as he can. He's going to lead lap 69 for the first time today. Brian Campbell leads it across the stripe. Now Derek Griffin has his hands full with a side-by-side battle for the 3rd spot behind him. Nate Haslai looking to the inside. Ross Kenseth, looking to the outside. Both trying to make their way past Derek Griffin down into turn number 1.
They really closed up on him in the exit of turn 4. That allowed...
trouble down in turn number 1. Donnie Rivers head on into the outside wall. And boy, James Swan piles into the stopped car of Donnie Rivers. Red flag going to be out on the racetrack. Boy, hard crash down in turn number 1 for Donnie Rivers. Wow, looked like he got hooked in the right rear going down into turn number 1, and Donnie Rivers piled head on into the outside wall. Hardest crash I've seen here at Toledo Speedway in quite some time. Safety crew already on the scene down there, but wow, what a wicked hit for Donnie Rivers down in turn number 1.